I'm 56 from the U.S. From North Carolina originally, so live in Hawaii now. So flew all the way from Hawaii here. So the question as far as why I'm here,
Yeah.
to me, a lot of the other conflicts are gray, but this conflict is definitely black and white. This is about good versus evil. This is a
He's talking about
storybook,
Ukraine.
any movie we've ever watched. This is definitely evil against good. I mean, we're battling a situation here where the Ukrainians and the rest of the world are caring and kind and generous and unselfish.
This is the guy. Yeah, this guy tried to shoot Trump yesterday.
Take care of one another, and it's just a matter of we need to stand up for that. That is the most important thing in the world, is just to show human beings that we're kind and we're caring and that we take care of one another and that the world is united.
Well, he did show them that by trying to kill somebody. True. There it is.
So that we feed each other and make sure that we all move forward as one collective whole unit.
So maybe, again, it's like I feel like it's kind of ironic me saying this, because I just said you can't reason a person out of a position they didn't reason themselves into. You can never figure out why crazy people do something. But, I'm going to try to do exactly that right now. Maybe the reason why he tried to shoot Trump is that he thought that Trump was going to let Putin win the war with Ukraine. Because a lot of people have said that the way Trump is going to end the war in one day is by just giving Putin everything that he wants. And so maybe that's the reason why. I don't know.
We feel the pain of one country's failure and their
Fair take. Yeah, I can't figure out the reasons why normal people do normal things, but I can figure out the reason why crazy people do crazy things. I wonder why.
We enjoy the successes of other countries that are doing good.
Who knows why?
We all work together, and for some reason, Russia does not grasp this concept that we're all one unit, and we have to get along and work together and be normal human beings. This is 2022. We have to work together.
The funny thing is that he's actually right.
It seems asinine that we have a leader in a country that does not understand the concept of being unselfish and being generous and being kind and just the basic moral values that are required by human beings these days. It blows my mind.
And what are you doing here in Ukraine?
My initial goal was to come and fight. I think everybody around the globe should be motivated to.
I gotta say, better than the people that changed their name to the flag of Palestine or the flag of Ukraine. I gotta say, he thought it was a problem. He went over there and he went to fucking fight for him. Wow.
Come here and support the Ukrainians.
He walks the walk.
The army, no matter what gender.
It's crazy how somebody like this, it seems like right now this is a well-reasoned person. How did you think it was a good idea to not even put the leaves on yourself when you were at the golf course? Why did you think it was a good idea to put your backpack at the chain link fence? How did you, it's so crazy to me, right? Because, this guy doesn't seem like a moron. I mean, he might seem a little brainwashed and a little much like a bit of a zealot, right? But he doesn't seem like a moron, right? He speaks in complete sentences. He speaks like a reasonable person. What a dumbass.
Age, anything. Everybody should be here supporting the army, but I'm 56, so initially they were like, well, I have no military experience, so they're like, you're not an ideal candidate. So they said, not right this minute. So plan B was to come here to Kyiv and promote getting more people here. We need thousands and thousands and thousands of people here fighting with the Ukrainians. We need, we've got 190 countries around the world, and we need thousands from all of them. If the governments will not send their official military, then we civilians have to pick up the torch and make this thing happen. And we've gotten some wonderful people here, but it's a small fraction of the number that should be here. If we have 5,000, to 10,000 people here fighting, that is just a minuscule amount of the 5 billion people on the globe. We need everyone here fighting. That's why I'm in Kyiv, So every project that I promote is about getting people here to support the Ukrainians.
Yeah, somebody in chat mentioned something. Have the CIA or the FBI announced yet that they already knew about this person and they just were keeping tabs on him? Have they announced that yet or not? No, not yet? Okay.
We were at a critical juncture in this war where we were sitting on the fence as far as whether good or evil is going to win. You know, right now we're looking at a situation where the world is waning and it's thinking that this is important or not. And we're at a point where, you know, all right, are we going to stand for humanity, for human rights, for everything that is good with the world? Or are we just going to ignore it? You know, if everybody is complacent and doesn't join this fight, then guess who's going to win? It might take 10 years, but we're going to lose this battle if everyone around the globe does not stop what they're doing and get off the couch and come to Ukraine and defend the human rights of everyone around the globe. This is the most important thing going on in the world today. So sitting around and letting life go on as normal and complaining about gas prices and complaining about, you know, your luxury life in whatever country you live in is unacceptable. As human beings, we must support each other. We cannot turn our backs on anyone around the world and expect the problem to go away. So I've been dealing with Russia for my entire life. You know, we had one period where it was okay, but now we've let it.
Yeah, I think that's why he tried to shoot Trump. I think that, yep. Yeah, now I feel like that's what's going on. He's talking about good and evil and morals. The guy probably thinks Trump is the devil incarnate or something and wanted to kill him to make the world a better place. He's a brainwashed idiot. Yeah, and I think that's what happened. Another person tried to assassinate Trump. Yeah. Yeah, he looks completely crazy. Maybe, I mean, like, I think he's obviously he's obviously crazy, right? Obviously nuts. But at the same time, I've always said before that, you know, I can at least respect people that are willing to, you know, put themselves in the line of fire for something that they believe in, right? It's like there's a lot of people that like talking. I mean, this guy flew all the way over to Ukraine. Like, that's pretty surprising. It is. This Twitter was super schizo. Yeah, exactly. And it doesn't make it a good thing. There's plenty of things that I can respect in a person that are bad. It's not like it's not like he's a good guy, right? Obviously not a good guy. But, like, it's just, you know, I think it's worthy of note that, you know, he had a very strong belief and he went all the way over to Ukraine to do that.
Slip back into terrorism. So it's just, the world needs to respond.
Mm-hmm.
You know, why world leaders are not sending military is beyond me. We're going to have to elect new leaders the next go around that have a backbone and that, you know, have the fortitude to say, hey, we're not going to tolerate this type of behavior. This type of behavior is unacceptable anywhere, any place, you know. So it's totally unacceptable. And why people are not responding, I do not know.
What impressed you the most since you are here?
My trip to Irpin was pretty emotional. So, you know, going and seeing the buildings that were burned and
this guy's way too logical to be crazy. He's just a fanatic. I think so too.
More emotional for me is just talking to the guys that have come here. You know, when you talk to a 20-year-old guy that sold everything he owns to come here to fight, that is heroism. You know, he's coming here to risk his life for humanity, for the Ukrainians. You know, guys that sell everything they own to come here and support the Ukrainians while others sit at home and do nothing. You know, it's totally mind-blowing how we have this divide of people that are selfless and courageous and wonderful and willing to sell everything they own to come here and support, you know, keep people from getting killed, to shelter kids and protect Ukrainians, and others that just, you know, want to sit at home and not. It's just, you know, it's an indictment of our entire human society to say, hey, you know, where do we stand? Do we stand for good, or do we just not care? I mean, does
Yeah, I think, yeah, this is a fanatic. Maybe he's not crazy. He's just a fanatic. Yeah,
does the world not care?
I think, yeah, that's what's going
That's
on.
the feeling that I wrestle with every day in my interactions with everybody. You know, every one of us is responsible for the outcome of this war. Every one of us, you know, by our actions and what we do. And, you know, when I call back home and say, hey, I need $5 so I can, you know, put enough money together to get a vest for a Ukrainian, and I get no response, I'm like, I'm not sure that the world is as wonderful as I once thought it was. I had thought that everyone would respond, you know, very generously and unselfishly.
Why do you think that?
And, you know,
That's a
you
mistake.
don't have to come. But, you know, if I ask for $5 to buy a vest to save a Ukrainian life, it seems like that would be a no-brainer. But I increasingly get more disappointed in humanity. And I'm beginning to question whether or not we're going to end up on the right side of this equation.
So you are working with the International Legion.
Yes.
And you are trying to convince people to help, to donate, and to join.
Yeah.
My final
He's too logical to
question
be
is,
crazy.
what would you say
I agree.
to the people in order to convince them to join the International Legion, or to donate for it, or to be involved in the humanitarian aid to Ukraine?
Right. It's just extremely important, the whole thing. As far as joining the military, you know, yes, if you have some military experience or know people with military experience, encouraging them to come and fight. We have units all over the place. So, you know, there were some leadership issues initially, but we've got so many units available to us: Georgian, Crimean, Ukrainian, Territorial Defense, Foreign Legion. We have, you know, so many paramilitary groups. I put a 74-year-old Japanese guy in a unit. So, you know, we have girls in units. So we have two girls that are in the unit up the street.
I think this could create problems for Ukraine aid going forward. Why? I mean, like, I don't think this has anything to do with Ukraine, really. I mean, like, this is just one person who's like an ideologue zealot. You know, like, I don't think that has any, it's not an indictment of Ukraine or anything like that. Like, yeah, it's just one guy. Like, maybe that's just me. Yeah, I mean, I don't I don't think this means anything, really.
So any gender, any age, any skill level to no skill level. But yeah, if you want to fight, come here and see me, and I'll put you in a unit so you can go fight. But regardless of that, we should have thousands upon thousands of people standing here with the Ukrainians. This Maiden Square, Independence Square, we should have millions of people in this square, filling the square from every country around the world. And why we don't, I don't understand. I'm here every day with all the flags from all the supporting countries, with the memorials for the people that have died. And, you know, I've had several people come, but just a handful, you know. So it blows my mind that I'm standing here alone without thousands of people from every country, from Asia, from Africa, from Australia, from Canada, from everywhere in South America, every place.
Europe.
Europe, everywhere. We need everybody here. You know, if you have no skills, just come. You know, we need to be cheerleaders. Just being here and saying, hey, I support the Ukrainians, and I support human rights, and I support good and generosity and caring and kindness and altruism.
By shooting people.
Just, you know, we need to show the world that we care, and it's essential. You know, if you don't do any work at all, just being here and supporting and showing them that we care for our fellow human beings is the most important thing we can do.
Really interesting, isn't it? Yeah, because you can have a person like this, and he talks in complete sentences. He seems coherent. He repeated himself a few times, but I mean, I think that makes sense. And you see somebody just kind of have a situation like this totally, take him off the left field, easy to manipulate. Yeah, there's a lot of people who, are hyper, radicalized, and, he believed in Ukraine. He went all the way over to Ukraine. He's dedicating his time, and he effectively has dedicated his life to doing it. It's not logical. Well, I think that like it is logical, but it's just not the logic that you and I are using, right? Like it's reasoned, but it's like basically if you have a compass that doesn't point north, you're still going in a certain direction, right? So like it's not like he's like crazy is doing things that don't have any congruency with each other. He's not crazy. He's just a misguided, like brainwashed zealot, right? That's like taken this issue and dialed it up to like 11, and he thinks that like he wants to start another world war. He's an extremist, yeah, which is and it doesn't mean that extremists are good, but I'm saying like he's not. I don't think he's crazy. Well, actually, that's not true. I think that he does have some screws loose, but he does have like what's the word for it? He has his own autonomy. It's not like he's not a person who can't control themselves. Yeah, he's not schizophrenic. Yeah, he's emotionally captured. Yeah. Also, he'll pass car wrecks and yearly, then people in conflicts. I don't know. He doesn't care about Americans though, or democratic process. Only his own sick way. Yeah, no, for sure. Like I'm not saying that like he's good. Like I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is that I think it's interesting to see how a person like this can go from like one extreme to another, right? And like how this can happen. And this is his Facebook page too. So yep, there we go. Is there anything else? Yeah, they deleted all of his social media and everything like that. Yep, for sure. And this is the guy in the BlackRock ad. Yeah, we saw that before. I fucking called it. And so many questions about Ukraine. If not for X, I would not be seeing any of this. Say the line. Yeah. I'm waiting to hear this one, man. I am, bro. Like, yeah, I'm waiting to hear it. Why delete it, though? The reason why they probably delete it is so they can avoid having negative attention. It's probably just, like, really that simple. They delete it to avoid having negative attention and avoid having advertisers have their ads shown next to somebody who is, like, a potential, like, a murderer, right? Like, that's the real reason. It's probably not because like he had some sort of hidden agenda, because didn't Twitter also delete his platform too? I think Twitter also deleted his account. So I think, yeah, exactly. It's optics. Yeah, they're just doing it for optics, which by the way, I'm not even saying is a good decision. I think it's kind of bad and it's not in the public interest. Like I think people should be able to see why a person does this. And yeah, Elon Musk free speech. Well, he just doesn't want to get, like have them like look into it or something like that. Do Americans know Ukraine is not America? Yeah, I get that. And also, like, again, extremist zealot. Crazy to see something like that happen. It really is, yeah. And went all the way over to Ukraine, was, like, trying to fight for them and everything, man. Yeah, in the Gideon video. Fucking crazy. Wow. Ukraine to get a fight with the Russians? Well, I don't know. Should assassins be names public? Have their names be public? No. In a perfect world, they wouldn't release any information about the person, and they wouldn't talk about it. But if the information is out there, I'm definitely going to cover it, right? Like if the news agencies put this out there, I will do it. But I think that it should be a policy to not release the name, the manifesto, photographs, or anything like that of anybody who commits like terrorist activities or people that do things like school shootings. The reason why I think that is that I think a lot of people like him. So I bet in his head, he's thinking like Trump is going to let Ukraine lose the war. So I'm going to shoot Trump because of this like issue, right? Like that's probably what was going on in his head. And I think also he brought a GoPro, right? So he wanted people to see this. It was very evident that he wanted people to see like his level of conviction and his level of dedication to this cause. So if you promote that and you put that out there a lot, what you end up doing is you end up creating a reward structure around that behavior. Because like now it's like you can do something crazy like this and you can get your messages read by everybody, right? You can get your message out there to the whole world. So it's yeah, promoting the message, exactly, right? And for people like this that are super extremists, that's worth it for them. So it is very dangerous. That's why I think it's best not to talk about it. But if it's out in the public space, it's not like I'm going to pretend like it doesn't exist. You know? He wanted to become a martyr? Yeah, pretty much. But Trump said he'll stop the war if he's president. Yeah, but what a lot of people assume is that Trump will stop the war by giving everything to Russia that they want and letting Ukraine lose the war. Like, I'm not saying that's what Trump is going to do. I'm just explaining this is what people think, and this is the reason why, you might think that it's incongruent, but in their mind, that's what they think is going to happen. I don't want to debate whether it's going to happen actually or not. But yeah.